Hey everyone, I'm Ben,
I'm Ram.
and welcome back to the One Piece vs. 4K podcast, where we compare the One Piece 4Kids anime to the Funimation dub, sometimes sub, and throw in comparisons to the manga. We are back today for episode 28 from my end. I'm guessing it's episode 29 from yours.
Yep.
Awesome. Uh, well, before we get into the episode, do you want to tell me what's been going on with you?
Yeah, so I've started to unsubscribe from a lot of other streaming services, and I subscribed to HBO Max recently, and I've been watching the Snyder Cut. I think I only watched 1 hour of it so far, and I'm still kind of like working on it. So I've been kind of doing that, and I think I'm gonna probably get the Disney Plus subscription. The HBO Max subscription is only going to be probably for 1 month just to watch the Snyder Cut. I don't really know too many
You
other
might
shows
as
I
well
want to watch.
watch Wonder Woman 1984. I think that's on there too.
Yeah. So I'll probably try to do that within this month, which should be fine. Um, and then I'll probably cancel that and get the Disney Plus subscription and
Yeah.
start watching like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And
Um,
you gotta freaking I still can't believe you haven't seen The Mandalorian.
oh yeah, and also Mandalorian. I mean, I don't have Disney Plus
Yeah.
subscription, so I finally a few weeks back I finished How I Met Your Mother, so like I am off of that. And I don't. One thing I was almost tempted to do on Amazon was to start Psych, which was another show that I also finished some time ago. It's still one of my favorite series of all time, but I stayed away from it. Psych, like shows like Psych and New Girl, it's like since it's not, it has a different vibe from How I Met Your Mother because like it's not filmed in front of a studio audience. It's still like a hilarious show. So I definitely, it's definitely one of my favorite shows. And like what they're doing now with Psych is like, um, they are doing like full length movies, but like not, but they aren't like released in like movie theaters. They're like released on TV, like made for
Oh
TV
yeah.
movies and thing. And it's like movies, and so the creator of Psych, apparently he really likes writing these, and he said that like so they already did one movie, um, and he says they're gonna do I think a couple more. And honestly, like the chemistry between the actors, it's just like an amazing thing, and I really do hope that they do multiple movies because it's just and honestly, these movies are basically like longer episodes of the show kind of thing, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, so I've been like really enjoying that, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get that. And this weekend, Attack on Titan, the final episode of the series aired, and then they announced that there's going to be a part two this winter.
Like you called.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, I was just like, there's so much left. I'm like, there's no way that they were going to complete it in like 3 episodes. And sure enough, I mean, where they ended with like,
Was there a lot of scuttlebutt on like the Reddits and stuff that it was going to be completed? Did people actually think it was going to be?
well, so the Crunchyroll official Twitter account, like the English one, I don't know if they have a Japanese one or a Spanish one, but like the official Crunchyroll Twitter account, it talked about how like this was like the final 3 episodes of the series, like of
Oh,
the
so
series.
stupid.
Yeah, like they were kind of like putting that and like yeah, that's how like they were like tweeting this everywhere, and then finally like right before the final episode aired, after it aired in Japan, like I guess they put in a thing that like yeah, part two is gonna happen in winter, and they said winter 22, but I think it's like this upcoming winter, not like next year winter. If they do it next year winter, I think a lot of people are gonna get pissed off. I mean, like manga readers aren't going to be pissed off because the final chapter is dropping in like 10 days or 9 days from now, 10 days.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be um, it would be annoying, but it's like I think anime onlys. I think they're gonna probably get a little mad about if they do it like not this winter but the following winter. But yeah, no, it's most likely going to be in like 7 to 8 months, which kind of makes sense, just because the animation that they need to do for the upcoming chapters. Because I mean, this is the finale, this is the climactic finale, and like there's like a lot of huge things going on, and like so I yeah, they definitely do need time to kind of like make all the episodes and stuff, and like yeah. That thing is finally it kind of feels weird because it's such like an epic anime. It's like one of the all-time great animes, and like this is gonna be the first time where I see one of these great animes kind of conclude, and like I'll be like watching it conclude live. I mean, granted, like I probably should have done that with Fairy Tale or Seven Deadly Sins, but I didn't. Especially Fairy Tale, because Fairy Tale was like really great.
I'll get caught up on time to watch it at the end, since
Uh,
since it's now going to be in winter 22.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, yeah, it's so easy to just kind of like just binge it. I think I told you about how like I thought I was gonna pace it well, and then I ended up just binging through season
Yeah.
two, season three, and season four.
I mean, I know that's what we did with the first one. Um,
Yeah.
so although the I guess I mean we've forgotten everything, so we might as well just rewatch everything now at this point. But
Yeah. And I'm trying to attempt this insane thing where I'm gonna try to read all the manga chapters right before the final chapter releases. Um,
you know that this I don't know if you've I have not revealed this yet. I mean, there's no real reason to, but this entire time we've been doing this podcast, and every time you've been talking about Attack on Titan, I've actually been staring at a pop figure of Sasha.
oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Laura has one, and for whatever reason, she has like all of the pops on display on our ceiling. Um, but for whatever reason, it's like the one that wouldn't fit, so it's like on a shelf, like right next to me.
That's hilarious. Yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, that's kind of funny that like yeah, that's kind of that's been happening each time I talk about Attack on Titan,
Yeah,
and
I've been
yeah,
staring at it and the little potato that she's holding.
yeah, I think she's affectionately known as Potato Girl.
Yeah.
Even though what's kind of hilarious is that like how like and this is not a spoiler thing what I'm about to say. Like it's only like I think the only reason she has that name is because she ate a potato during the entrance ceremony, and the headmaster of the Army Corps or whatever military school or whatever it is, he was just like scolding her about eating the potato. Like I feel like that's the only time that she really ate a potato, and like she was eating like obsessively on other foods, but it's just that one thing that like everybody kind of
Yeah,
yeah,
it
that's how
it
she
was
got the
kind of like
name.
a meme.
Yeah, and it kind of became a meme within the show. Like they reference her as Potato Girl
Oh
um,
yeah.
throughout the show. So yeah, it's kind of a meme within the show itself.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think I'm going to try to read. And what's great is that spring break is this weekend. So I'll definitely have like 3 days. Because we'll be, I think my family and I will be going somewhere over the weekend. But like, uh, it's only a 1 day trip though, so that's good. But yeah, this weekend, like, I'm gonna try to read as many chapters as I can this weekend, because during the week I'll only be able to read like maybe 5 to 6 chapters, because like each of the chapters, manga chapters, is like 40 pages long, 40 to 50 pages long. I'm hoping the final chapter is like over 50 pages, but
Can you read in the car? Do you get car sick?
I mean, I'll be driving most likely.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Make
don't
your
really.
brother-in-law drive.
Um, I don't know.
Tell him you
Uh,
have. Tell him you have Attack on Titan to read.
yeah, I don't know. I might just like drive there, or just I don't know. I might just I don't know. I think it's possible that I'll drive a large portion, and then he'll drive a large portion, and then my sister may drive a large portion. Um, we'll have to see. But I feel like I'll be driving for the most part, though. But we'll see. We'll see this weekend. Because I know like my sister and brother-in-law, they're kind of going through some stuff right now. Like, it's not anything like serious, but like it's just like kind of some personal stuff that they're currently doing. So they're kind of occupied because I think he's going to travel in a little bit. So he needs to get certain things in order. So, yeah. So if it's just like my parents and I, it's like, it's yeah. I'll probably drive the whole way, but granted, it is one day. We'll just have to see. But yeah. So and then I guess like in terms of like One Piece, we had a new chapter released, and we also had a new episode this week, and the way I kind of like describe what's going on is they're speedrunning the journey to they're basically speedrunning the entire journey through the Grand Line. And, like what we're seeing in slow motion through over the course of like more than 1,000 chapters and more than likely more than 1,000 episodes. They're trying to speedrun this in like 5 to 6 episodes. So yeah, I thought that was actually hilarious when I was kind of watching the episode because yeah, um they go through like a lot of different places. They're really like running past a lot of things. I think Roger's adventures will probably end in 2 to 3 episodes, I think. But that's not the end of the flashback that's currently going on in the anime because there's a lot more that happens in the flashback after Roger's adventure. So that's going on, and then in the manga, like sure enough, the mysterious figure from the past wasn't what we thought it was, and more battle scenes are happening, and yeah, it's I think they're getting back to their normal release schedule, but not really, because like we're about to have 3 weeks in a row of manga chapters, which is the usual sequence. 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Um, but I still do think that like we'll still have more bye weeks because of all the other things that the manga needs to do. If people want to have a good idea of like the amount of work that a mangaka needs to do, one there's a YouTube video online called "Day in the Life of a Mangaka," which I think I actually referenced in one of our episodes. Um, kind of shows like how much they have to do besides just drawing the chapters. Like there's like so many stuff with like the editors and like the publishers that they're constantly in meetings with. So um, I'd imagine because of that there'll probably be. But right now we're gonna have like 3 straight weeks of new chapters, so I'm really excited about that. Obviously, one week last week, 2 days ago was one chapter. We're having another chapter this week, and then we'll have another chapter the following week. The only reason I know that there isn't like a buy after this week is like leaks usually happen on Tuesday. Not the official chapter leaks, just like they'll like they send out some chapters. They send out the chapters I think Monday or Tuesday, and people like on Tuesday they'll get the official like main events that happen. They'll just list them out, and then Thursday to Friday, possibly Wednesday itself. Actually, Wednesday to Thursday, they'll put out like official, like fan translated like dialogue and stuff, and you'll get the whole thing with the fan dialogues, which I don't really like reading. And then you have the official translated chapters with the official release on Sundays. But yeah, so because of that, I go to the spoilers thread only to go see if there's a bye week the following week, and I saw that there isn't a bye week after this upcoming chapter. So I was just like, 3 straight weeks of like chapters. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, that's kind of with me. What about you? With you, what's been going on?
Ah, not much. This past weekend. Oh well, I guess yeah. I guess a lot's been going on, kind of. So actually, I meant to tell you this earlier, but you need to finally turn on your PlayStation because they're giving away like 7 free games or something. You don't even have to have PlayStation Plus. They're giving away
Hmm.
a bunch of free games. I guess to kind of encourage people to still stay inside and not go crazy. Um,
Oh, nice. Is it like this month and next month, or is it next month?
you need to try to get on like today or tomorrow because one of the games is going to go away. I think the new Ratchet or like a Ratchet and Clank game's on there. Um, but
Okay,
you
I'll
could
have to
also
check
just
it out.
like go to the website and add it to your account or whatever. But yeah, they're giving away a bunch of games, and I was looking at the list of games that they're giving away on. I think this was like Thursday night of last
Mhm.
week, and I was like, wow, they're giving away a lot of PlayStation VR games, and I was like, this is crazy. I can't play any of them. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna see if I can buy a PlayStation VR. Um,
A
you
PlayStation
know,
VR.
yeah, because I had also just got my tax money back. I was like, all right, I have a little bit of extra money I can spend. Um, so I looked it up, and like I should have known, it was sold out everywhere. And then, some people were selling them new, but they were selling them for like $600.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Um,
be surprised.
when
Yeah.
its retail price is like, I think its retail price is like, well, like the bundle that I was looking for, its retail price is like 300 or something, or
Oh,
250. Yeah, so they're marking everything up. I was like, oh well, and I'm like, also too at the same time, like that's one thing, especially now, with the COVID going on, like you don't want to get that used because that's been on someone's face.
yeah, true.
And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not gonna get it. And then I went to Sony's website. Like they had like a PlayStation VR website, and I'm like, oh well, like they have a direct where you can buy them from Sony, and I checked there, and I was like, nope, they're sold out there. And then there's like a tiny section that said other retailers, and I looked down the list of retailers, and I had already looked at all of them, just basic retailers: Walmart, Target, GameStop,
Mm.
Best Buy, and then randomly on there was Kohl's. And I was like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "All right, well, I'll humor this." I clicked on it, and it said there was a PlayStation VR that I was looking for at a Kohl's, like that's not that far from me. And I was like, "All right, well, I'll just set it for pickup, and I'll send Laura there the next morning." But it's also said low stock, so I'm like, "Oh, this has to be a stock error." But lo and
Oh,
behold, they
dang.
actually had it.
Mm.
So I ended up getting it, and we played a bunch of VR games. Well, we played the game that came with it, which is kind of like a
Mhm.
party game or whatever.
Mhm.
I can't even remember the name of it. Uh, and then we played some Iron Man VR. Iron
Oh,
Man
nice.
VR is pretty cool. It starts off really nice, and like it's pretty impressive. I gotta admit. But I ended up getting very, very sick from playing it.
Oh
Uh,
man, so
I
like
just
yeah,
got really dizzy.
yeah.
Um, and it's honestly only that so far, that's the only game that's made me feel like that. And for whatever reason, like the fidelity of this game, like I can't, like you can like focus with the VR, but for some odd reason in this game, I can't focus like on the text on the screen. I don't
Mm.
know why. It's like I don't know. And the graphics aren't that good in this game either. Because
Mm.
it seems like it's like a game that's trying to push the VR. It's trying to do more than the VR can actually do. Um,
Okay.
and I just got dizzy. I got dizzy when it was going, like, when I was, like, flying up and down and then, like, slamming into things as Iron Man. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
and so
that's kind of
I
hilarious. Like, the only thing I've ever heard of like people like I know like this was like a thing. Like I never really experienced it, but like a lot of Fortnite streamers, they would kind of complain about how like the current camera thing, especially with the planes and all the other things that were going on, like they would get like very dizzy. And
yeah.
they, but wow, so this is actually an instance where oh wow, okay,
Yeah,
well,
I mean, I like, also, like, when you're in the VR for a while, you also get kinda sweaty, so I got, like, really hot, and then I was getting dizzy. Um,
oh wow,
and
oh dear.
I was trying, like, the first few levels were fine, they were short, but this, like, next level was, like, trying to encompass, like, everything you had learned from the last 3 levels, and it was combining it all, and the level honestly, I think the biggest fault was they made the level too long. They should have split it up, like, said, "Alright, this is level 3, and then this is level 4," because
Mm,
I was like, "Alright, it's a level, so I'm not going to take a break. I'm gonna beat the level and then take a break."
mm.
But I should have probably taken a break halfway through. I just didn't wanna, like, not complete the level. Um,
Yeah, yeah, you know, I feel
but
you.
anyways, I I took like a I went to my room, turned off all the lights, and laid down for 30 minutes, and then I was better.
Okay, okay.
Um, and I didn't think I was gonna do any other VR for the rest of the week, and I'm like, "All right, I know that all VR is not gonna make me sick, but I think I'm done for the weekend." Until Laura decided to buy that Beat Saber game on for PlayStation, and I was like she's like, "Do you wanna try it out?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'll give it a go," and, I'm not that good at it, but man, that game seriously, like, if you tried it, I bet you that game might sell you on VR. That game is impressive as hell.
Is it like the thing where you use a stick and you kind of like move up and down with like the different things that come to kind of like Guitar Hero, but like with these sticks kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
dude.
game is really fun.
Yeah, it's like they started to like some of these like workout like places like they started making like workout games based around
Mhm.
that. And like
Yeah.
yeah, did it feel like a workout when you were done?
Yeah, it did, and, like, I don't know, man, it's really fun, yeah, I mean, it didn't make me dizzy at all, and, like, I was definitely moving around a lot more than I was in Iron Man, but I think it's, like, more simplistic, easier to focus in on things, but, like, the fidelity of it was, like, so much better, and, like, like, you see in your hand, like, the little, like, sabers and you're slashing things, and, like, you also have to, like, lean left and right so you don't hit, like, a wall or whatever that comes, like, straight at you. It's kinda scary at first,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was really fun. I need to play it some more. And then
yeah.
there's a couple other games that like, one game's called Astrobot. It's supposed to be like a platforming game that I heard is really good. So, like, that game's free, and then another game called, Moss is free. Like, so many games were free that I was like, "Well, this is just, like, the best time to get it." Like, because I knew in the past if I had bought in the PlayStation, VR, I would have ended up buying these games, so I'm just like, I guess now is, like, the best time to get it. So but yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. And other than that, I watched the first episode of the new Mighty Ducks series this weekend. I enjoyed it.
It's on Disney Plus, right?
Yep.
Mighty Ducks. Is that something
Or
similar
Mighty
to
Ducks. It's
is that
related to the
based off
hockey
of the
team.
movie? Oh, okay, okay. I was gonna say, is that like the Scrooge McDuck thing? But okay. So I guess it's a TV series based on that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting.
Is
I
there
don't
gonna
know
be
if
like
you go ahead.
so is there gonna be like a VR with the PS5, like a new VR with the
Yes,
PS5,
there
or
is. There is going
okay?
to be. Honestly, I think that's what a lot of people are just going to wait for. And honestly, I would recommend waiting for that too. Um,
Yeah.
because it's gonna be better. Like, I feel like a lot of with the regular PSVR, a lot of the issues people have in games is due to it's not powerful enough.
Mm,
Um, and like if the fidelity of a game is like shitty, I feel like it makes it like it's harder because like it, it's like it's like you're looking at something. You're like trying to squint at something almost.
yeah.
So like the fidelity on a game has to be like really sharp. And, also too, it like really takes you out of the game if it's not like crystal clear. You're like, all right, well, I'm clearly playing a game.
Yeah, yeah, no, I feel you on that. Yeah, yeah, dude. Like it's yeah. I mean, granted, yeah, it's been almost 2 months since I turned on my PlayStation, so I guess I need to turn it on for these games. But yeah, I'm just like I think my plan originally was to get a PS5 for my brother-in-law and myself, just like to get both of us PS5, and I was kind of saving up for that. But yeah, I think yeah. I think he said just wait for the PSVR to come out. So yeah, I guess I am patiently waiting for that. Um,
Well, I mean,
I
the thing is though, is once the PS5 VR does come out, you're gonna have to buy the PS5 and uh the VR. Like you're easily talking $1,000.
oh, for both combined,
Yeah, guarantee it.
just one set. Mm,
So
okay. Well, it's kind of funny that like you got the PSVR at like Kohl's of
yeah, I
all
know.
places.
And that was the only place. Like literally, I'm telling you, if you guys are listening to this and you're in Georgia, I mean, you can check Kohl's, but there is literally nowhere else in the entire state of Georgia that had it except for a Kohl's.
Wow, that's it's kind of funny because
Yeah,
I didn't know Kohl's had no. I mean, I don't go shopping that much, anyways.
yeah.
But I didn't realize Kohl's had like an electronics section.
So they do have an electronics section, and they do sell video games. Like, but they mainly like they only like restock their stuff like once a year around Black Friday. So
Mhm.
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that thing had been sitting there from Black Friday of last year.
Okay, okay, okay. Still
So
kind of weird though that Kohl's would sell that,
I mean,
even for Black Friday.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I need to. I have Kohl's Cash. I have $70 worth of Kohl's Cash that I need to spend. I was thinking about getting another video game, but they literally only have like two other video games on their website. So it looks like I'm gonna have to buy a new pair of blue jeans or get a pair of blue jeans for free.
When does the card expire?
It that hasn't started. That's the thing I hate about it. Like you have to wait like a week for it to start. So,
Okay,
uh,
okay.
and it ends in a week. So
Oh,
I'm
what?
just gonna have to buy some, like blue jeans in the next week or something.
Oh man, that's weird. Because yeah, I mean because like I think like with I was gonna suggest just wait until the PS5 VR comes out and you can spend that money
Oh yeah,
on the PS5 VR. But yeah, that's yeah, it's kind of funny that yeah, it's like that. But yeah.
yeah. I mean, I doubt I'll be getting the PS5 VR until it's like way, way out of the ways. I'll be more excited just to get the PS5 whenever I can, but I'm gonna try to hold off for as long as I can.
Yeah, same. I think I'm definitely gonna wait until more. I mean, granted, I think by the time I get it, a lot more games will probably be available for the PS5.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just wonder like if I'll be. I think I will. I think I will still be playing video games. Just because
Well,
I've been like,
Fortnite will always be on it.
that's good. Yeah, that's my crux or my crutch. I just don't know if I can go back to Madden, man. Like, it's been. I feel like it's been 6 months since I played Madden, and in that 6 months I haven't broken a single controller. So, I guess that's the win. Because, dude, I don't know. Like Madden, just I wouldn't. I hate buying new controllers. I'm done with buying new controllers. But I don't know. It's just that thing with any kind of video games. even like a pool, even 8 ball is something that like infuriates. Fortunately, like it's my at least I think my phone is pretty durable. Like it's not like I slam it on the ground, but um, I have gotten a little more agitated with 8 ball sometimes when I play. But yeah,
Well, I guess we should get into the episode here.
yeah.
Yeah. So this episode from my end is called the episode 28, The Crack of Dawn. So another really stupid play on words here with the episode name.
Another
I'm
pun.
actually kind of starting to appreciate these cliche phrases.
Okay, okay. I mean, yeah, they're like nice little puns.
Yeah.
On my end, it's episode 29, the conclusion of the deadly battle, a spear of blind determination.
You see, now I just see also the dig I'm giving about the freaking Funimation slash legit anime titles is that it spoils the entire episode. You know that you know that Krieg is going to be defeated.
I mean, he. It would be well. It would be weird if the protagonist just loses and like dies right there. You
No,
know.
I know. Well, obviously, he's. Yeah, I know, but you're saying, but you at least know in this episode that's when he's going to be defeated.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess true. One thing I did want to say that I forgot to say is like so this past week, when Four Kids was trending, on
Yeah,
Twitter,
that's why I had
um,
tweeted that thing out. By
yeah,
the way.
and when I actually right after I went on YouTube, like because of everything is like listening to everyone everywhere, one of the YouTube recommendations talked about how like I ran into a channel that was kind of talking about like the differences between the original Yu-Gi-Oh animation and like the Four Kids version.
Hmm.
And man, I gotta be honest, like I am so glad that like Four Kids did censor Yu-Gi-Oh, only because of like if they kept it the way the original version was, I do feel that like the popularity of like I don't think I think parents would have gotten so mad like there probably would have been like petitions to kind of take it down with the original version because the original version it was way more like suggestive and like more adult like one of the reporters in Yu-Gi-Oh in the original one, there was more cleavage, and then the camera would do like a pan up shot to kind of give like a sexual suggestion kind of vibe. But in the Four Kids version, it was just like it was a cut to that. Her blouses was her dress was raised to block the cleavage and stuff. One dialogue, and I forget the what the YouTuber name is, but he talks about how like so the original like Japanese dialogue was the reporter would basically tell the guy you can do whatever you want to me or something to kind of get him all like thing, but like in the Four Kids version she's like I think it's either I'll give you my room or I'll give you a kiss or something like that,
Right.
something way more tame. And honestly, this was one of the few instances where I was like all with Four Kids. I was so glad that they censored it because they did censor it. It got so popular in the U.S. and like most Western countries, and like with the little kids. And it was just so fun with like Yu-Gi-Oh trading cards, and like it was honestly like middle school was all Yu-Gi-Oh and like all the Yu-Gi-Oh trading cards and stuff, all sixth and seventh grade and most of eighth grade. So that was like the one instance where I was so happy that Four Kids did the censorship that they did, because like just because of the amount of joy I got from the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game and stuff. I was just like, man, I was so happy about that. But yeah, that was just a side little thing I forgot to mention a little earlier that I saw this weekend. But yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so yeah, and anybody that's new subscriber or whatever who's following us when I tried to capitalize on the trending tweet, thanks. I think we might have one new follower, so shout out to you.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah. So yeah, this episode opens with Luffy and Krieg facing off, and Luffy tells Don to get ready. He may have smashed the ship to bits, but now he's going to smash him to bits. Krieg says, even with his weapon broken, it's still not enough for him to finish him off. Um, Krieg then says it's over as Luffy sticks out his tongue and dodges his attack by extending his arms and grabbing onto the mast. As Krieg hits the mast and it's falling down, Krieg hits Luffy with his flamethrower. Luffy then performs a Gum Gum rapid fire and hits him with what looks like a ton of different hands, because his hands are moving so fast. It doesn't phase Krieg as Luffy lands on the ground. Krieg says if all he's going to be serving is a knuckle sandwich, then he's lost his appetite a long time ago. Luffy then performs a Gum Gum blast and punches him right in the gut. It appears to have hurt Krieg a bit, but he still says he didn't feel a thing and pushes him back onto a part of the ship. Krieg then goes on to say that even 100 blows wouldn't damage his armor, to which Luffy replies he'll beat him sooner or later. He then notices Krieg is gone, only to realize that he has appeared on top of a mast. Krieg then tells him it's only the strong that survive, as Luffy runs up and performs the Gum Gum double barrel, which knocks Krieg back, but he's able to counter with some smoke balls, which end up landing kind of in Luffy's mouth, and he kind of starts coughing up. Krieg tells Luffy he's pathetic as his ultimate armor begins to crack a little bit. We see a little crack in his armor. So, has anything different happened so far?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this was the case, but yeah, the attack names are definitely different.
Yeah.
So the one, what did you call it earlier? The Gum Gum, where he uses multiple hands.
Gum Gum rapid fire.
Yeah, so that's actually called Gum Gum Gatling, because it's like a Gatling gun with like a constant
Yeah.
Hit. And then the double barrel, is that the one where he just stretches his arm back and then just does hit?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, so that is the Gum Gum Bazooka.
Oh. It's kind
Yeah.
of funny how they call it a double barrel. That's actually a gun reference still.
Yeah, more of a gun. I mean, granted, bazooka is pretty.
Honestly, yeah, you're right. It is more of a gun reference than bazooka.
Yeah, so
because they could have even left it called bazooka, and kids in America could even think it was the bubble gum,
I guess, yeah. But yeah, so he used the bazooka. So a couple of attack name differences: Gatling, bazooka, and the one where he hits. I think if I remember it correctly, it's the pistol. Yeah, the pistol that he's been working on his whole life on perfecting, where he punches him. But yeah, and as far as I don't. It's whenever an explosion happens, sometimes you'd see Luffy just falling down with smoke coming out of his mouth. It's one of those things that never really made sense to me, but hey, smoke is coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, it seemed like he threw him in his mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, it's anytime there's an explosion nearby, and this is actually something I don't know. I don't know if I really see this in Western films, but excuse me, sorry about that. But for instance, in Indian movies, for those who don't know, I'm of Indian origin, of Indian descent. So in Indian movies, whenever there's an explosion scene, not a huge explosion, just a mini comical explosion scene, and there's this one guy who's remaining, and he's all there's black stuff all over him, from I guess, bomb dust all over him, and he opens his mouth and smoke comes out of his mouth, kind of thing. That's what they always do. So I don't know if it's more of an Eastern thing. I don't know if they do that in Western films where after an explosion,
they just do the the blackened face thing.
Yeah. That's the thing. So they do the black and face and the smoke coming out. So Yeah, I guess that's more of like something that they do in Eastern films.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah, and I'm not talking like Eastern animated films. This is like
Yeah.
Eastern like, live action films.
Mm. Yeah. That I mean, I'm sure it's just something someone did as a joke, and it's just like always in everything.
Yeah, it's pretty prominent in a lot of like Western movies and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Um. Okay. So. Yeah. So. Yeah. All of a sudden, more of the balls hit the water and explode, leaving the ship even more heavily damaged. Krieg says as soon as the ship sinks, he'll be finished. To which Luffy appears in the air and performs another Gum Gum double barrel on Krieg, breaking the armor completely apart. Krieg is then sent flying into the ocean as Luffy in midair exclaims that he has won. Krieg is falling, or as Krieg is falling, he shoots out a net to drag Luffy in with him. As he's free falling, Luffy is able to break his arms out of the net and to perform a Gum Gum giant hammer, which he flips Krieg into the deck of the Barati. Uh, Luffy then falls into the water with the net attached to him and is free falling down into the depths of the ocean. Now, this was like really confusing to me because, like, I guess he did something wrong or something because it's like eh, I was kind of shocked at this happening because I thought he was, going to land on the ship with Krieg, but he
With the
doesn't.
net on it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Um, So is this pretty much what happens in yours?
Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, pretty much. You see his arms and legs pop out of the net, and he does the hammer, Gum Gum hammer. I forget if it's like I don't think it's Thor hammer. But yeah, I think it's just like hammer. He hits him, he grabs onto him, spins him around, and then smashes him on, and that's when like the final blow. And yeah, as he's kind of falling, he falls into the water with the net still on him and stuff. But yeah, he's like victorious and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and like Krieg had mentioned, this is like a metal net. Is that what he had mentioned? Like a steel net.
yeah. It is a steel net. By this
So
point, I think
it's
like
like
yeah,
supposed to sink him, I guess, too, like faster, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So at this point, the other pirates cheer on that they are saved as Geen wakes up to discover his boss is lost. Sanji looks shook as Red Shoes reminds him that he needs to save Luffy. Sanji asks why he didn't he mention it sooner, and he jumps in to save Luffy. Sanji swims into the depths of the water, searching for Luffy, and as he's about to lose his breath, he finds him and begins to try to break through the steel net. He's unable to do that, so he tells um, Luffy that this can't be the end for Luffy as he realizes how brave Zolo and Luffy have been. He continues to, I guess he does break through the net eventually, and then he begins to swim up to the surface as he continues to have flashbacks of Zolo and Luffy, and like how brave of, warriors they've been. He then exclaims he's not going to let his dreams disappear, and it looks like he's about to drown again, but he eventually makes it to the surface. Sanji says that his dream is to get to the Big Blue, but this isn't over yet. To which Krieg's crew are shocked that are still shocked that Krieg's been defeated, and uh, Geen is exclaiming he can't believe it. Patty and Carney are then telling Geen they know it's hard, but they have to swallow it, or he has to swallow it as a fact. Geen is disappointed and states that Krieg is the one man he's always looked up to. As Geen is walking away, they tell him that that Carney and Patty can become his new role models, which was like a comedic thing. And then Sanji starts trying to wake up Luffy as he realizes that he's not actually full of water, or anything. He's just sleeping. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, so I guess I'll stop there. Anything different?
No, I mean, I think you actually meant the chefs, not the pirates.
Oh yeah,
Who were
yeah. Well, the pirate chefs.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, not too many differences. I mean, yeah. So Sanji kind of like brings Luffy back. And yeah, as he's doing it, like yeah, he tries to, and then he basically tries to like bring him back to life, I guess. But he then notices that like Luffy is just like sleeping, and so he just kind of laughs it off.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah.
yeah. So at this point, Krieg gets up saying he can't be beaten, and we notice that he has a missing tooth. And he says no one can match his power. His crew tries to hold him down as Krieg smashes through them. He screams again that he cannot be beaten as Geen walks up and punches him, knocking him out, telling him it's time to cut his losses. Geen tells Sanji he owes him one, and then tells Sanji to tell Luffy when he wakes up that he will see him at the Grand Line. Sanji is shocked as Geen explains that it's now his goal in life. He can't really explain why, but somehow Don Krieg's obsession with that place has become his own. Um, which I thought was funny because it seems like he's trying. It almost seems like he's trying to like he. It honestly seems like he's partly wanting to go there because Luffy wants to as well.
Mm. Oh, like Luffy
But
inspired him.
yeah, it seems to be like that.
Yeah.
Um, so then Geen starts to cough and says that he's sick and he may only have a few hours left, but he's going to try to go there and follow his dream. Geen says he's no longer living under the shadow of Krieg, and if Luffy can be like that, so can he. So that's kind of like also saying that Luffy kind of inspired him. Sanji then tells Carne and Patty to go get a boat, and they tell him no. To which he screams at them to do it, and then we see them start to cry, and they're upset because Sanji had yelled at them, and they run to retrieve this ship. And this was just a funny scene that honestly just seemed like I don't know. It kind of seemed out of character for them to be like so upset that Sanji was yelling at them.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. I guess
But
like it's just because of what they saw him fighting, and like I think they're more fearful of him after they saw him kind of like fight some of these like bigger like tougher guys that they probably are used to fighting.
yeah,
Because I've been
maybe.
said like the East Blue is the weakest of the four. It's the weakest of the four oceans. So yeah, I think it's like they don't get like too many strong pirates, and like this was the strongest one that they've ever seen. So yeah, probably
Yeah,
more.
maybe too. They're starting to see him more as how the other pirates see Geen. Like all the other pirates on Geen's crew are afraid of him.
Yeah, I don't think there's fear. I think they're just like, oh, okay, no, this guy is like a thing, so they're like, hey, stop yelling at us, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sanji then gives Geen his boat, this is another funny part. It's just a real tiny ship, and it's loaded with all of Geen and Krieg's crew. I mean, they're just like all stacked up and all knocked out on top of the ship. And tells them, he says, "Here's your ship, now blow off." Geen says he'd never guessed who would teach him his ways, um, and he asks if he's sure he can take it. Sanji says sure, as long as he comes back someday. Red Shoe and Red Shoe's crew says they need to know they don't take cut from no one. I thought that was just funny how they said cut. Like instead
Mhm,
of they don't take shit, they go we don't take cut from no one.
mhm.
And then Geen sails away as Luffy still is sleeping aboard the deck of the Barati. And at this point, the episode is pretty much over, but we finally are able to see Nami again aboard the ship. And she's talking about how much she misses her crew and she hopes someday they will have her back. She then starts crying and says if they knew why she was going, they'd have to understand, as it's something she has to do no matter how hard. And that is the end of the episode.
Oh wow. So they did cut out like a few bit of the dialogue. So a few things I did want to mention. So when and this is kind of like something I'll kind of like reference in future episodes that we'll never get to because it's past 4 kids. So yeah, when Krieg, so right after like Krieg's defeated and like he just gets up, you see like his eyes kind of blanked out, and he keeps fighting, and then they're just like, oh, he's not even conscious, and he's still kind of fighting thing. Um, I don't think I remember a lot of other villains kind of doing that. But the thing that's significant about well, that I thought was a little significant about this scene about him fighting while unconscious is that like so Luffy acquires this special power later on, and this is like way into the future, and like he's just been beaten by this one guy. He's unconscious, but as he's unconscious he actually activates this power and it knocks out some people around him, and and it pisses off the guy who just beat him because he's like, oh, there's too many people who have this power or something like that. But yeah, it was just this I guess it just reminds me of like that scene when basically Krieg gets up unconscious, still wanting to fight and still throwing these guys while just in an unconscious rage, um, and that this is kind of something that I noticed like many episodes later, where Luffy is like still doing this thing although he is unconscious. So yeah, I thought this was like a little. I don't know if it was like a little bit of a foreshadowing because that would be crazy amount of foreshadowing, but yeah, I just don't feel like I've seen anything like that happen up until that time when Luffy did that. Like between now and
Hmm.
then, I just don't remember it ever happening with any other characters. I mean, in one arc, after a villain is defeated and he's put in jail, um, he eventually gets out of his shackles. But the reason why he gets out of his shackles and he's back talking like shit is because like he was taking steroids, and like those steroids have these side effects which really ages him. So it like radically advances him in age. And the only reason he got out of his shackles is because his body is so shriveled up that the
Oh.
shackles was like too big. But yeah, so yeah, like that was the thing. Like, so I was like trying to think back through like all of One Piece that I've seen, and like, yeah, between that scene with Krieg and all the way up to basically this episode that's in like the 900s, like I don't think I've seen that until then. So yeah, that was something there. And basically, I was a little surprised when he told me that that Geen told them that he only has a few hours, indicating that he may die in a few hours. Because yeah, that's the original dialogue too. Like Geen says, "Hey, look, I want to go to the Grand Line. I
Yeah.
probably only have a few hours to live, but I want to do it anyways." So I was really surprised that they kept in that dialogue about him potentially dying in a few hours. Um,
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like they should have probably cut that out, but yeah, they left it. And honestly,
yeah,
it's kind of, I mean, like you see him coughing, but like it's like he says he only has few hours, but then like right after he says that, he seems fine.
yeah, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
weird.
yeah. Yeah, it is kind of weird that way, but yeah, but yeah, no, and like I guess like they left out the part to live. So like you just see a few more hours, but you don't know what those few hours mean. Is that few hours till he recovers?
Oh yeah.
What it is. So, but yeah, in the official one, it's like yeah, a few hours to live. Yeah, so Gein's kind of in this kind of last few hours thing, and so a lot of it's the same. The Nami dialogue is a little different. So basically, she says, I hope they have me back, and she talks about she talks about how like she has to go do this one thing, and how she's not free, and she hopes she can rejoin them when she's free, and then she mentions this one character named Bellamere, and then that's when the episode ends for me. So did they not mention Bellamere?
Mm-mm.
Like they don't go in detail with the character. She just says Bellamere in like kind of like a sad, like almost crying voice tone kind of thing.
I mean, maybe she said that, but I didn't hear that out of her.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, no. It they made it seem pretty obvious when she said
Okay,
Bellamere.
yeah.
Like
Then
yeah,
no,
so
she
yeah,
doesn't say that.
yeah. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So a lot of it is kind of similar. So yep.
Alrighty. Well, that is it for episode 28 and episode 29 of the Four Kids and regular anime. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will be back next week.
Definitely.